I'm preparing today for a 10-day spring bear trip I have coming up. I figured it'd be a perfect time to jump on here and show you how I prepare my food and what I'm eating while I'm out there. One of the things that I like to do when preparing for this is to get a gallon Ziploc and put everything that I need for my lunches inside of a gallon Ziploc bag. This allows me to have all my lunches made up and then just grab and put in these lunch baggies inside of my pack for however many nights I'm going to be staying out. So for example, this is going to be a 10-day trip. I'm going to have 10 of these food baggies all made up and they're going to all go in my pack, in addition to enough breakfasts and dinners for each night that I'm out there as well. So just to kick things off, starting my day, I figured I'll start off with breakfast and what I'm doing for breakfast. Primarily, I've been running these Kodiak Cake oatmeal cups. These are great just because they're such a cheap option. They're just under, from what I remember, around $2 at the grocery store. I will run like a peak refuel freeze-dried meal, biscuits and gravy from time to time, especially if I've had like a hard pack out and I just need some extra calories. Especially when the weather's cold. Sometimes these are great. They're just a lot more expensive when you're doing both breakfast and dinner, freeze-dried meals. It adds up, especially if you're going out for multiple days. So that's where I found these protein oatmeal cups to be a great option. They have like 14 grams of protein in them, and you just add boiling water from your jet boiler or whatever you're using into these and let them sit for a few minutes and they're ready to go. They have a few different flavors. And I think they're great. So that's what I primarily run for breakfast. Moving on to my lunches, I'll dive into these and show you what I have in here. So kicking things off, a lot of these. So I got some peanut butter packets and a honey stinger waffle. Love the honey stinger waffles. Peanut butter packets, I kind of switch up variety on these. From different brands. One of my buddies turned me onto these, super cheap. You can get them from Amazon, and these are just Skippy natural peanut butter. And I'll put those on top of the honey stinger waffle. Then we have tuna packets, and these are kind of hit or miss for me. Sometimes I get really burned out on them, so they come out of my pack. But for this hunt, I'm going to be packing these. And you can get a few different brands and flavors in these to kind of keep some variety for you. And moving on, a huge shout out goes to my wife for this. She prepares a lot of like these protein balls and no-bake cookies here for me. And these are a great alternative for me to like Cliff bars and protein bars. One thing I've really struggled with is, just getting burned out on protein bars. And so I've been running for the last few years these protein balls that she makes, and these are just a recipe that she's found online along with kind of tweaking it with some recipes she's gotten from friends. So little protein clusters, those are great. They're like peanut butter, chocolate chip, oats, flax seeds, stuff like that. Those are great. And then these no-bake cookies, which are just like peanut butter, oatmeal, and chocolate that you melt down and then form into a little ball. Those are great. I've been trying to go away from doing like store-bought like sugar candies and real processed candies. So I did up some of these, and these are just like candied almonds. They're like a brown sugar, cinnamon, sea salt almond that I did up. So that's kind of like my candy alternative for this trip, as well as doing a bunch of dehydrated fruit. So I have in here strawberries, apples, bananas, just to kind of give myself some variety, and those are really tasty. Then for something salty, I have usually in every bag a little chip bag. Some of these have Cheez-Its, some of these have Goldfish. And one thing I've learned with this, a lot of things I will like individually pack in these snack baggies, like the almonds or the dried fruit. Sometimes I buy things like this in bulk and put it in the snack bags. However, I find that some of the foods tend to like bleed flavors over to the other foods, and they kind of absorb that flavor. So things like these I try to find individually packaged if I can. I know it's a little bit more expensive, but it helps when I'm going out for 10 days so that my food doesn't kind of start taking on flavors from other foods. Then if I can, depending on how warm the weather's going to be, I'll do pepperoni and cheese sticks. sometimes like in September when the weather's warmer, elk hunting, and I'm only going out maybe, a few nights at a time and then coming back to the truck, I'll leave items like this in the cooler and only put in the lunch bags for how many nights I'm going out. And then when I come back and grab more lunch bags, I just take those out of the cooler and throw them in, help them last a little bit longer. On this hunt, I'll probably be taking like 4 or 5 days worth of these where I know they're gonna last and not go bad. And then the rest of the bags just aren't gonna have those because they're not gonna last for 10 days out there. And then a few things left in here. I have a bone broth, and these here are bare bones. I got these off Amazon, trying them out. They're a little bit cheaper than the Lono Life, which I usually run. I like both of them. They're gonna have different unique flavors, so in the future I'll probably be just doing a variety of these two to kind of help switch it up. But those are great in the evening time or when the weather's cold, anytime throughout the day. If I'm gonna be going on late season hunts, sometimes I'll have a few of those in my bag just to sip on throughout the day and kind of help warm me up. And then coffee, this is nothing special. This is just a Starbucks instant coffee. I switch it up kind of brand to brand, do the Black Rifle Instant from time to time. And I don't drink a ton of coffee, and so some mornings I might not even drink these just to kind of help keep the jitters and stuff down. And then Hydrate and Recover electrolyte packets. Love having these in every lunch bag to mix up and make electrolyte drink while I'm out there. So that's kind of everything in my lunch bags for this trip. Then for dinner, I'm going to be doing a freeze-dried meal. I do a freeze-dried meal every night for dinner. This is beef stroganoff. I have chicken and coconut curry and a bunch of different flavors, Alfredo, pesto pasta. And I try to just keep a variety of those for the dinners while I'm out there. So that's kind of an overview of what I do for each day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Hopefully this helps give you an idea of how I'm packing and preparing for my backpack style hunts. I know for a lot of you this is nothing earth-shattering or new and probably how you've been preparing, but I always love seeing other people's food bags and what they're taking. So if you have great items that you love bringing that are always in your bag, drop them down in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys are taking. And hopefully this was helpful for you guys and gives you an idea of how I prepare for my food in the backcountry. Thanks for watching.